And people just don't really understand the gravity of the situation because they don't really know what all I've witnessed and experienced through these years. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as the structures are concerned, in 2017, that was my first time, like in 17, like before 2017, the only thing I knew about the structures, the government, and, as far as all of those people, was third grade social studies, the things they taught us in school. You feel me? I mean, aside from that, my mind was on the same kind of things everybody else be on, and that's like college, careers, jobs, perhaps family stuff, you know what I mean? Just simple stuff. You feel me? I got blindsided by this stuff like a sack of rocks, and it just stayed with me ever since. It was the weirdest thing ever. And, you don't understand how it feels to, for the first time, these kind of things come into your awareness, it's under a very, very bad set of circumstances, to see these, these weighty, large, structures and things were, I mean, you would have to go through it to understand it. But the best is what I could describe as like phasing me, like targeting me. This was before I even knew that it was a situation that was going on worse, since 94. But at that time, I'm waking up and I'm like, and, for every time, I'm in a position to see any type of media. You know what I'm saying? They're talking to me or about my life without actually talking to me or about my life. Just things like that where they just try to drive you to insanity, coupled with the things happening in your personal life, the unprovoked, undocumented, unconstitutional, violence, harassment, endless, merciless and with no boundaries. Day in, day out, all year long. This is my life. It cannot be trivialized because it's my life. Just like they know their lives out there. This been happening the whole time, unprovoked. There's nothing about my conduct that has ever changed. But my circumstances changed later, but my conduct never changed. It's neither did theirs. It stayed misconduct for the whole time. And this was the situation. I saw these entities and places on high up and they vandalized everything that I touched. They destroyed every electronic. They owe me hundreds. You know what I'm saying? Technically. I seen them do this. Then they, blame celebrities who they also are working with. They blame it on them to justify them being in my life without my consent anyway. On top of everything that's already transpired all these years, from back like at 17, it's injustices, militias, working with artists, and then it's cults, and it can be their enemies, that they work with their enemies. It's a whole freaking crap show going on, you know what I'm saying? From 94 to now, just whatever it takes to make sure Elijah don't be great. You feel me? That's what it is, like a power move from society, almost everybody. Just like lose their freaking, like everybody just out of their minds on this crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's the weirdest thing ever, man. It's like a freaking insanity crap show that's been going on. Just no rules, boundaries, laws, or nothing. Whatever it takes to make sure this guy does not see success. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird. Weird. And you got, and on this other note, you could tell, somebody should like tell these structures and influential figures with these, they have certain obsessions. The things that they force on you are the things they desire of you. They try to conform, it's psychological warfare, things called suggestion and stuff like that. They create or offer these perspectives into the atmosphere around people to frame them and to them for their own private interests and things like that on the level, on a hidden secret kind of level. But I mean, that's on them though. And so I mean, every day they follow you, stalk you, trail you, try to confirm these, false biases, false narratives, confirmation biases. You know what I'm saying? They create things and try to manipulate and bend your life. You know what I'm saying? In order to confirm that. And the whole country watch this all year, every year. Don't even disrupt them. In spite of, everything about their character being exposed and all their motives being exposed. You know what I'm saying? And their leaders being exposed. Somebody can go tell them to give their brains a shower. You feel me? Because their mind is in desperate need of cleansing. You know what I'm saying? And that's to any entity. And also these artists as well. They need some special treatment. You feel me? But that's on a different level though. What else to touch on? Yeah, man, I mean, the energy that I give out is directly proportional to the energy I've been getting unprovoked. You know what I'm saying? For just the last 7-8 years alone. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm the furthest thing from problematic. So for me to have to, for me reacting like this, it has to, there definitely, truly, really is a reason for it, And I've been under utter attack without cause for a long time. And then it still continues, and the same, and they're using my fame to justify it. I just illegally lost another, livelihood, opportunity. Because as I explained in my last recording, because of this crime that's been proven going on with, people, I guess that was responsible, still free. You know what I'm saying? It's a federal obligation, to secure all of my sustainability under any circumstances. If not, then the feds are also involved in a racial hate crime. You feel me? Against one person, premeditated. And by me just, coming to the same, in the same position once more, then that's the confirmation of it. So, I mean, like I say, it's a race war against me, but I'm forsaken though, And that's what's been happening for the last 20 years. It's hard to be calm about something like this, So that's basically what's been going on. It's been a full-blown race war on me. It's no coincidence. I'm Elijah too. And for the longest, it confused me. I'm like, why is this structure so, especially in 17 when I first became aware that I was like really under this level of micro, you feel me? Like this was in 17 I was under this level of scrutiny, by the structures, and I was totally unaware because, I'm the furthest thing from any type of person traditionally that would bring their attention on themselves. You see what I'm saying? Like, I never fit the criteria, in conduct, in action, you feel me? In choices, decision, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and us knowing now, that this scrutiny was on me, underhanded by artists since way back in like 94 all the way to now. Okay, everything since is, it don't take a rocket science to understand that, it's possible for them to remotely, do things to your life in order to railroad you down a trajectory or something to try. Now, everybody, for me, of course, they were very unsuccessful. They did a very valid effort, but they were not successful, in completing that evil, wicked agenda. Yeah, man, I didn't understand. It made no sense for me why these structures were so just unprovoked with such extreme evil against my life like that. But when I realized that it was a situation that I could confirm it, even at 17, when I'm in the trenches by myself, you feel me, in the hood, like, where I had no friends because everybody around me was deceived. So just imagine, it's crazy. When I came to that realization, it was traumatic for me because, as a child, thinking, as a child type, just as a child level of a, mindset, where do you go from that? What you do with that kind of information? Understand it. Like, it's like, Well, I mean, I'm already being attacked by somebody, and then now this entity is stepping forward, informally, you feel me, without directly doing it. And they're not shameful about it, blatantly on, all throughout media, everything that was happening back then. They were not shameful about letting me know that they're doing this. But there was literally, as God is my witness, no reason as to why somebody would want to do that, though. And that was the strangest thing about it. I was like, so I mean, I still haven't gotten over that shit. That was like 3-4 years ago. So I mean, every year it compound. I never get to heal from the year before, and then they're using the damage that they're creating by doing this to me to justify, the fact that to justify depriving me of further rights because I need to heal from something that they're doing to me. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it's a compounded crime, and it's like, I mean, nobody's listening. Everybody trying to like contribute to it. They're also trying to ensure that Elijah don't be great. Simultaneous to everything else that's going on. You feel me? So every single day that goes by, this crime continues. Every single day. You know what I'm saying? And it matters, don't matter what I do, if I make a recording or if I'm just sitting here, just literally just standing there existing. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm still being crucified every second that ticks by. And it's behind something I prevented years ago. But it could have been disrupted. It wouldn't have got this bad. But it was ignored on purpose, resulting in murder. Because even if God is with me, every time it's an attempt, that registers as a murder. You know what I'm saying? And this is all after the instructions were notified in 17. So, I mean, thousands, hundreds, man. And they just still at it. These influential figures are not being prosecuted. You know what I mean? They not above the law, as I've been told to talk. So, I mean, my life became a project in a nutshell. If you remember, my life became a project to somebody, and so that project became my project. You feel me? And so that's what's going on. And this project, I'm never going to let it go until justice is awarded me, because there's no excuse as to why it shouldn't be. I did everything possible. I followed everything. I kept track of this, showed the whole entire world. There's no excuse for why I don't have justice. I'm not the same as every other black man. Feel me? I'm not the same as every other person. So, and that leads me to say about this. I know everybody remember the video from Babylon, America, with the School for Prophets video. And it's talking about the papacy and how the structures followed. Just how history played out. You feel me? How history ended up turning out things, to where they are the way they are today. And that stuff is real. And so, I mean, I didn't understand. I was, this level of attack that I was under, because I didn't even know I was Eli until that year. Like that year, I didn't really register it. I didn't really think of it, until, or consider it until 18. So I didn't really, fully process it until, I sat there and thought about it. Now that video, I know y'all remember that one. The film, School for Prophets film, and breaking down the Bible through the historicist, view of biblical prophecy, and that is true. That's the true, perception of the Bible, especially in proportion to the lives of biblical figures, and I'm Elijah, and I didn't know that then, but I know it now, and others knew it before me, including the structures. You feel me? They knew it long before me, like back in '94. You feel me? I didn't though. I had to come to the understanding. They been knew it. You know what I'm saying? So when I look back in hindsight in 2017, when they start stepping forward, I don't know. I didn't understand it, and I still don't understand it to this day. Is like demon influence or something, or they was under a certain kind of impression that wasn't true. They were deceived or whatever, but it's like they boldly. It's like they might as well have been the legionnaires that was at the cross back when the Lord was crucified. That's how they were doing in 17 and 16, all these years, 15, I guess. I mean, I can't speak for that, but I know for a fact from 17 on, they had awareness of what's going on in my life. And so, I mean, it's like they might as well have got the little spear and been stabbing the Lord themselves with it. You know what I'm saying? Because they had no shame. And that's why now it's like, I mean, for certain people to be blamed and not prosecuted, it makes no sense. I'm a regular person. And, I'm an artist. And so, for some reason, I'm the only artist, that is being scrutinized to this level, by these unrelated, entities. When the people that they are actual, people that they actually consider faves of them and people they idolize are way more qualified for the level of scrutiny that I'm getting. But they get zero. You feel me? So as you can see, it was a premeditated witch hunt. You feel me? A premeditated witch hunt for which artists and structures still, you know what I'm saying? So I was showing no mercy. I was showing no mercy all these years. And so, I mean, that's the same energy that I've been expecting the whole time. I mean, every now and then some good people that, they become aware. They may have become aware recently, of what's been already going on. But most of the damage is pretty much in stone. You feel me? I mean, now my goal is justice because there's no way I can save my purpose. My legacy is now over, but it has been attacked, though I prevented the attack of it. And so I'm being subjected to things that their favorites and idols not being subjected to. And that's a real problem to me because of what I've already gone through, and shared with the world the whole time. So it's like, how? How? I'm being subjected to more than their favorites are. And that's not fair. And I'm getting more antagonized because of because of what I've gone through. Talking about what I've gone through and things for which, it was intentionally ignored and allowed to snowball on purpose. But that's my fault, or I'm getting treated like I deserve this invention or to be erased or hidden or something because somebody, or it was some injustices or something that decided to aid artists in trying to erase my legacy out of jealousy, so they can steal bits and pieces of it. That's somehow my fault. That's the way I'm being treated by the structures. And though they were informed of the possibility of something like that happening years in advance already, before it even happened. Then it happened, was completed, and then, had the influences abetted, and the situation is still outstanding as we speak. I'm not cool with people like that. They just trying to scam me. I'm not a sucker like that, you know what I'm saying? They tried to do me dirty because what people don't know is that simultaneous to that time period last year, when that was going on with my body of work and my art, these same influencers that smiled to their face publicly and these injustices and these structures, you know what I'm saying, that smile and present themselves publicly to these people, that whole period of that total 3 months, you know what I'm saying, especially that August, I can remember vaguely, from August of last year, from August on the 17th all the way to the 28th, there was a nonstop violent purge hunting of me simultaneous to what they was trying to do to my body of work. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I feel, because people don't, that's the chapter people don't know, which I don't understand how they don't know it, because I was telling them as it was happening, you know, this, and that's the same kind of thing been happening the whole time. Then the days just pass by, and they pass by until the situation is outdated. You feel me? Until the situation is outdated. You know, in spite of it being reported, they don't act on nothing about it. They just try to let it fade away. Well, I'm holding on to that until justice comes forward. I'm still in August of 2020 right now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere because I reported that. You know what I'm saying? And if it was intentionally ignored, I don't care about it. You know what I mean? I'm still not letting it go, though. That's just an example. There's hundreds of instances, you know, in the last 8 years. Hundreds, thousands, you know. And I'm holding on to every last one of them until justice be awarded for it. Some of them are more easier to, you know, just, you know, like some of them are, you know, more reasonable to pursue than others, you know, as far as justice for it, you know. 'Cause I know the earlier stuff is harder to prove, but I mean, I fear no evil though, you know. So I'm not in the same bracket, you feel me? I'm not in the same parameter. I'm not bounded by the same laws or rules of physics that they say that they are, because I live by the law that's in the Bible, you know. I live according to the commandments, you know. I can't be manipulated with societal constructs that was created just to be a disadvantage for me, Elijah. You know what I'm saying? That's the only purpose certain constructs were even thought of, just to make it impossible for Eli to succeed. And then certain places people, places and things want to be cool with me now if all the damage did. You feel me? I'm not with that. To the grave. You feel me? I'm not in favor of these influencing things because of what they did to the purposes of God. And God ain't, and they, you know, I mean, when they get over there, bro, they not go like God, you know. I'm telling you, bro, some people gonna be judged for their actions, and they don't think they are. You know, and they gonna be surprised, very surprised. You know, but that's their eternal portion. They earned it. They earned it. But yeah, man, situation is, you know, it's out of control, man. It's so much out of control that words ain't enough no more. Words are no longer sufficient to describe how horrible the situation is. But I mean, that's all we got though is words and faith. So I mean, I talk about this, my testimony, yeah, but they trying to cancel or disinvent my legacy. So they allow this stuff to keep happening to me because they know from the trauma that they gave me in previous years on purpose through negligence, then I'll be forced or more inclined to speak on new things that happen to me, which I am. And they depended on this to somehow to be able to ultimately encapsulate or to mislabel my legacy to be able to destroy it anyway, which will end in their destruction. So I mean, a destruction from God, you know, but that's their plan though. And so they insisting about this situation, and that's why feet are being dragged about, you know, the pursuit of justice. So I mean, you know, this infuriated is not the word to describe it. You know what I'm saying? the way God feels.